Commander Vrolak stood at the bridge of his warship, the Ravager, staring at the calm blue planet below, Earth. It looked peaceful from space. Green lands, blue oceans, white clouds, a small world. Quiet. Too quiet. He tapped a button on his wrist. "Any sign of Scout Team 1?" he asked. A young officer turned from the console. His skin was pale and smooth with glowing marks along his temples. "No signal, Commander. They landed 3 hours ago, then nothing." Vrolak narrowed his eyes. That was strange. His scouts were the best. Silent, deadly. They had landed on dozens of enemy worlds and always reported back within minutes. But now? Nothing. He crossed his arms. "Send another team." "Sir, are you sure? Earth has no shields, no defense grid. Maybe we should wait." Vrolak's voice was cold. "Are you questioning my command?" The officer stiffened. "No, sir. Sending Squad 2. Within minutes, another dropship launched. It looked like a black arrow slicing through the stars, heading straight for a forest near the last scout location. Vrolak watched it descend on the screen. Then, static. The ship vanished. No signal, no return. He turned to the officer. "What just happened?" The officer tapped the controls quickly. "Sir, it's gone. No explosion, no wreckage, just gone." Another officer spoke up. "Commander, I scanned Earth's surface. Their cities are active. Lights, energy, communication, signals. But it appeared they are not reacting to us." Vrolak's fingers tightened on the edge of the console. "So they know we're here, but they say nothing. Do nothing." "Yes, sir." It was a trap. He could feel it in his bones. That night, in the dark of his private quarters, Vrolak reviewed Earth's history again. Wars, violence, nuclear bombs, then come peace. For the last 100 years, humans had stopped fighting each other. They united under one banner, the Terran Alliance. "No species stops war completely," Vrolak whispered. "Unless they're saving it for someone else." Next morning, his ship shook, a small shockwave. "Report," Vrolak shouted. "Commander," a technician screamed. Something hit the outer hull, no impact detected, but something attached, something small. A camera zoomed in on the object. It was a black box, simple, ugly, about the size of a helmet. It pulsed with red light. "It's broadcasting," the technician said. "Audio message only." "Play it," Vrolak ordered. The message was in English. A deep human voice spoke, slowly and calmly. "You came to our world with weapons. You sent men to walk among us like we wouldn't notice. You think we are weak, that we fear you. But we are not prey. We are warning you. Leave. Now. This is your last mistake." The message ended. Silence filled the bridge. Then the box exploded, not with fire or plasma, but with light. A strange, blue light. The ship's lights flickered. Systems went dark. For 10 whole seconds, the Ravager was blind. When the power returned, alarms blared across every deck. "Commander, engine control is offline. Communications scrambled. Weapon systems frozen." "How?" Vrolak roared. "They use no weapons," the technician answered with fear in his voice. "Sir, I think it was a code bomb. Software, not hardware. A virus. They had been hacked. By humans." Vrolak gritted his teeth. No species had ever cracked their battle systems before. Not even the Igrax of Signar 6 who lived inside networks. Earth had just done it in one shot. Vrolak stood before the hologram of the Galactic Council. The alien faces glowed in blue light. Dozens of different species watching him. "You were told to observe only," one council elder said. "Not engage." "They took my men," Vrolak growled. "They sent a warning bomb to my ship. Earth is dangerous." Another voice, older and colder, replied, "Earth is a backwater world. Their people are young, wild, but not a threat to the Empire." "They are more than a threat," Vrolak said. They are hiding something. Their silence is a weapon. I request permission to engage fully. Ground invasion. The council went quiet. Then one elder spoke. Denied. Fall back. Return to base. Vrolak's face turned hard. He ended the call without permission. He stood alone now. He looked again at Earth. It still looked calm. But now, he knew. It wasn't calm. It was waiting. He tapped his command badge. Ready the fleet. We're going in. 6 battleships moved into formation. Thousands of soldiers prepared to land. Giant transports floated above the clouds. Vrolak's ship led the charge. They flew low, fast, over Earth's major cities. No weapons fired at them. Not a single missile, not even a warning signal. This is too easy, his second-in-command muttered. Then, it began. One of the battleships turned. Not slowly, but like it had been thrown. Something invisible had grabbed it from orbit and pulled it sideways. It began to fall. Fast, it crashed into the Atlantic Ocean with a massive splash, sending a wave so big it hit 2 nearby cities. Gravitational pull, Vrolak shouted. No, sir, it's like... The ocean pulled it down. Another officer screamed, Ship 3 is losing altitude. On screen, another cruiser was falling, straight into the mountains. Sir, Earth's gravity is acting strange. Changing, shape, moving. That was impossible. Gravity didn't move like that, unless someone was controlling it. Suddenly the air went dark. Not night, just dark. As if something huge had blocked the sunlight. The ships looked up. A massive black structure floated above them. Invisible before, now visible. Hexagon-shaped, covered in moving panels. It wasn't a ship, it was a machine. One word appeared on their screens. Skyweb Online Commander, someone shouted. Earth has a space structure above its atmosphere. It was cloaked. It controls orbital weather, gravity shifts, solar patterns. This whole invasion is a trap. Vrolak's mouth went dry. They hadn't missed Earth's defenses. They had walked right into them. And Earth had let them. In space, above the chaos, a single human ship drifted slowly. It didn't fire. It didn't move fast. It was small. Just a patrol class. Inside, General Ava Thorne stood watching her screen. She wore a simple black uniform with no medals. Enemy forces are confused, her officer said. Phase 1 successful. Ava smiled slightly. They thought we had no weapons. We just didn't show them yet. Back on the Ravager, Vrolak gave the order to retreat, but his ships didn't move. Commander, the tech officer said, navigation systems and locked. By Earth, they were trapped. As the Ravager floated helplessly, another message came through. This time, in a calm female voice. You made your first mistake. Now you will understand. We are not afraid of you. We studied you. We learned your ships, your weapons, your language, but you never studied us. That was your mistake. The screen went black. Vrolak sat in his chair, silent, stunned, defeated, without a single shot fired. Commander Vrolak stood tall on the bridge of the warship Ravager. He had fought on over 50 worlds. He had survived ambushes, nuclear storms, and enemy assassins. But now, for the first time in many years, he felt unsure. Earth spun quietly, below them. From space it looked peaceful. Blue oceans, green land, white clouds, no shields, no space defenses, no warning systems, just silence. Report, Vrolak said, his voice calm but sharp. One of his officers turned. Commander, Scout Team 1 landed 4 hours ago. Still no contact. Vrolak frowned. Try again. We've tried every channel. No response. Any signs of battle? No energy spikes. No explosions. It's like they vanished. That was not normal. His scout teams were trained for everything. Disappearances didn't happen. Not without a trace. Vrolak narrowed his eyes. Send in another team. Squad 2. Another officer hesitated. Commander, are you sure? Vrolak turned slowly. Speak. Earth. It doesn't feel right. They're not reacting to us. Maybe. We wait? Vrolak's voice turned cold. I do not wait. I act. The officer nodded quickly. Yes, Commander. Launching Squad 2. 10 minutes later, the second dropship flew toward the planet. It was fast, silent, and well-armed. It entered Earth's atmosphere without trouble and descended toward the forest where the first team had landed. Then, nothing. No signals. No images. No sounds. Lost visual, said the tech officer. Vrolak's tone darkened. What happened? Unknown. No crash detected. No debris. It just disappeared. Silence fell across the bridge. Vrolak stared at the screen. 2 elite teams. Gone. No battle. No trace. This is not a mistake. This is a message. In his private chamber, Vrolak reviewed Earth's history. Their wars were violent, far beyond what many other species had done. Millions dead. Cities burned, civil wars, global wars, nuclear bombs. Then, suddenly, peace. 100 years ago, all nations became one. The Terran Alliance. No more fighting. No weapons shown. No wars. That didn't make sense. Peace doesn't last forever. Not with humans unless something changed. Unless they were preparing for something worse. The next day, something hit the side of the Ravager. The ship shook slightly, just a small vibration. Report, Vrolak said. Small object hit the hull. No damage, an officer replied. It attached near the sensor wing. We're getting a signal. Audio only. Play it. A deep human voice spoke through the speaker. Calm, confident. You came to our world with weapons. You sent spies. You judged us weak. This is your last chance. Leave now, or find out what fear really is. The message ended. Then the small device exploded in a flash of blue light. No fire, no metal, just pure energy. The ship went dark. Alarms screamed. Consoles flickered. Lights blinked out. Then silence. For 10 long seconds, the Ravager floated. Blind. When systems returned, chaos followed. Commander, shouted a tech officer. Engines offline, communications blocked, internal AI shutting down. It's a virus. Vrolak's fists clenched. A what? A code attack. No damage to the ship's body. They hacked our systems. It came from that small box. Vrolak's voice was ice. Humans did this? Yes, Commander. Their code. Their signal patterns. Their attack. This had never happened before. Vrolak's species had some of the strongest tech in the galaxy. No one hacked them. Not the Arak. Not the Hive. Not even the mind swarm of Delta Prime. But Earth did. With one small device. Vrolak called the Galactic Council. Dozens of holograms appeared. Leaders of powerful alien races. You were told to observe Earth, said one tall, red-skinned elder. Not to provoke them. I sent 2 teams. Both are gone, Vrolak replied. And now Earth attacks my flagship without a single weapon. This is not a simple world. Another elder with 4 eyes spoke. Earth is young. No known starfleet. No empire. Why do you fear them? I do not fear them, Vrolak said. But I respect danger. I ask for full invasion approval. No, said the council. You are to return immediately. Vrolak cut the transmission without permission. Back on the bridge, he gave new orders. Prepare the fleet. Full force. We land in 2 hours. His second-in-command looked uneasy. Commander, the council does not understand what we are facing. Vrolak interrupted. We must strike now before Earth strikes again. The alien fleet moved into formation. 6 battle cruisers, 3 drop carriers, over 10,000 soldiers. They moved fast, flying low over Earth's skies. Still, no reaction from Earth. No missiles. No shields. No fighters. Too quiet. Commander, said a nervous officer. Something is wrong. Then it began. The first ship twisted in the air. Not turned, twisted like something grabbed it. Ship 1 is spinning out of control, someone shouted. Gravity readings are unstable. The cruiser dropped screaming through the clouds. It crashed into the Atlantic Ocean with a wave so big it hit both coasts. No survivors. What was that? Vrolak demanded. Another ship started shaking. Ship 3. Sir, it's being pulled by mountains. The cruiser slammed into the side of a rocky valley and exploded. This is not natural, said the science officer. Earth's gravity is changing shape, moving like a weapon. Suddenly, everything went dark again. Not from system failure, but from the sky itself. A shadow passed over the fleet. Something massive. The Ravager's sensors locked onto it. A huge structure appeared above Earth. Invisible before, now revealed. It wasn't a ship. It was a weapon. Black. Floating. Hexagonal. Text. Appeared on every screen. Skyweb Online. What is that? Vrolak whispered. A technician's voice trembled. Skyweb. Earth's hidden system. Cloaked until now. It controls gravity, atmosphere, satellites. Maybe more. They hadn't missed Earth's defenses. They had walked into them. Far above, Earth inside a small control station, General Ava Thorne watched her screen. Enemy ships trapped, her assistant said. Skyweb has full lock. Begin silent protocol, Ava said calmly. No fire. Let fear do the work. Back on the Ravager, Vrolak shouted. Reverse course, pull back. But the ship didn't move. Commander, navigation systems are locked. By who? A slow voice came through the ship's speaker. Female. Calm. You made your first mistake. You thought we were easy to break. You sent scouts like shadows. You watched us from above. But you never truly saw us, and now, it's too late. The voice ended. Every screen on the ship went black. No warning, no message, just silence. Vrolak sat down slowly in his chair. His hands trembled. He had never fired a single shot. But he had already lost. Commander Vrolak stared at the black screen in front of him. Every system on the Ravager was locked. The alien fleet floated above Earth, silent, confused, blind. No weapons fired, no battles began. And yet, Vrolak had already lost 2 ships. His second-in-command, Grohl, stood beside him whispering, they didn't use guns, or missiles, or ships. Just fear, silence, and traps. Vrolak said nothing. His jaw was tight. His mind raced. This wasn't a war he understood. This was something else. Inside Earth's Skyweb Control Center, General Ava Thorne watched her screens. She stood with her hands behind her back. Her officers moved quickly and quietly. Enemy fleet is trapped, one reported. Their communications are jammed. Their systems are still offline. Ava nodded. Hold position. No direct attack. Not yet. The officer looked surprised. We could finish them now. Ava's voice was calm. They don't fear our weapons yet, but they will. On the Ravager, some systems blinked back to life. We have local movement sensors and short-range visuals, a tech said. Good, Vrolak replied. What's happening on the surface? A screen lit up. It showed a city below. Tall towers, roads full of strange wheeled machines, people walking calmly. They act like nothing is happening, Grohl said. They see us, but they don't care. Vrolak's eyes narrowed. That's not bravery, that's confidence. Confidence. In what? In something they haven't used yet. One of the dropships finally rebooted. We have control of Landing Craft 9. A soldier shouted. Send it down, Vrolak ordered. I want boots on the ground, now. 10 minutes later, Landing Craft 9 touched down near the edge of a small human city. The alien soldiers, tall, armored, armed with plasma weapons, stepped out. They expected panic, screams, running people. But instead, a human man in a hoodie rode past on a bicycle. He glanced at the aliens, then just kept going. A group of school children pointed at the aliens and laughed. A nearby food cart owner held up a phone, took a picture, and waved. "Are we being mocked?" one alien soldier asked. "Stay alert," the squad leader said. "This is wrong." Suddenly their radios buzzed. A message came through, not from their fleet, not from the Council, from Earth. A live video appeared on their helmet screens. It was a classroom. A teacher stood beside a blackboard, smiling politely. "Hello?" she said. "We know you're here. You came to fight. But we are not afraid. And we won't fight the way you expect." The camera turned to a screen behind her. It showed human history, wars, revolutions, disasters, victories. We are not the strongest. We are not the smartest. But we are the most dangerous because we never stop. We adapt, we survive, we win dirty, and we always get back up. The screen cut to black. On the Ravager, Vrolak stood, fists clenched. "This is a message of war," he said. "No, Commander," Grull replied. "This is a message of warning. They don't want a war. But if we push, they'll give us one." Vrolak turned to his officers. "How many ground troops are active?" "Less than 5% have landed. All others are still waiting for orders." "Good," he said. "Hold them. Let's see what the humans do next." That night, Earth moved, not with weapons, but with data. Every alien ship began receiving small leaks of information. Personal messages, logs, history, even family records of the alien crew. Somehow Earth had hacked into their data cores. On Grohl's screen appeared a video of his own hatchmate, back on his homeworld. This is private," he shouted. "They're inside our memory banks," another officer cried. "Impossible," a tech shouted. "No," Vrolak said quietly. "It's human warfare, psychological. They weren't trying to destroy the fleet. They were trying to break their minds." In a secret base under a human mountain range, Earth's top AI, named Echo, spoke with General Ava Thorne. "They are scared now," the AI said. "Their heart rates are up. Internal communications show confusion, anger, fear." Ava nodded. "Have we used any actual weapons yet?" "No, General. Only words, signals, data." "Good," she said. "Let's see how long they can last before one of them breaks." 3 alien soldiers from Squad 9 tried to leave their post. "We're not trained for this," one of them said. "This isn't war. This is madness." A 4th stopped them. "If we go back to the ship, we'll be punished." "I don't care," the first said. "I'd rather face punishment than face another smiling human." In orbit, another alien ship drifted too close to one of Earth's old satellites. The satellite lit up, not with weapons, but with sound. A human song played through every channel on the alien ship. Loud, strange, full of energy. The crew panicked. "What is this?" "What language is that?" "It's music," a technician said, confused. "Is it a weapon?" "No, it's just human noise." But they couldn't shut it off. It played for 6 hours. On the Ravager, Vrolak sat in silence. His invasion had become a joke. No battles, no dead bodies. But still, he was losing. Every second they stayed, their fear grew. He whispered to himself. "They fight without fighting, they win without shooting." Grohl stood beside him. "Commander, we must leave." Vrolak didn't answer. Later, another message arrived, from General Ava Thorne. This time, it was personal. A private message. Just for him. The screen showed Ava in her command center. Her voice was quiet. "You are not weak, Commander. You are just old. Your war style is from another time. We studied your people, we studied you, we knew you would come, and we knew you would try to fight us like everyone else. But we are not like everyone else. We don't fight fair. We fight to win. And you already lost the moment you underestimated us." The message ended, and for the first time in decades, Commander Vrolak felt something cold in his chest. Not anger, not pride, just fear. The alien warfleet moved away from Earth, silent, defeated. Not a single shot had been fired by humanity, but the aliens were still shaken, broken, scared. Inside the command ship Ravager, Commander Vrolak sat in his private chamber. Lights dim, alone. He had fought more than 30 wars, seen planets burn, watched empires fall, but nothing had ever felt like this. Not like Earth. His second-in-command, Grohl, entered the chamber. Quietly, carefully. "They've stopped tracking us," he said. "They want us to leave." Vrolak replied. Grohl nodded. "The soldiers are asking questions. They don't understand what just happened." "Neither do I," Vrolak said, voice low. "But we must." Vrolak stood and walked toward the holographic table. He pressed a command. A 3D image of Earth appeared, rotating slowly, peaceful. He stared at it. Not like a soldier, like a student. "Bring me all human history files," he ordered. "Sir?" Grohl blinked. "You want to study them now?" "Yes. Everything they sent us. Every image, every video, every war, every song, every mistake, every victory." "But why?" Vrolak turned. "Because we never understood what Earth is. And that's why we lost." Hours passed, then days. Vrolak did not rest. He watched recordings of human revolutions. He studied Earth's endless conflicts between kings, tribes, nations. He saw them fight for land, for power, for ideas, and sometimes for nothing at all. He listened to human music, sad songs, angry songs, brave songs. He read human poems, letters, final words from soldiers in the mud. He watched them cry, bleed, laugh, die, and always, always, they stood back up. He turned to Grohl. "This species is insane," Grohl frowned. "You mean dangerous?" "No," Vrolak said. "I mean insane, and that makes them more dangerous than we thought." He pointed at the hologram. "They have no limit. They will fight until there is nothing left. Even if they die, they try again. Even if they lose, they find a way to win." Grohl lowered his eyes. "We were never ready." Later, a council transmission came in from their homeworld. An old voice filled the room. "Commander Vrolak, we expected your victory by now. Report." Vrolak stood tall. "I request full quarantine of the Sol system." The council was silent. "Quarantine," the voice repeated. "Yes," Vrolak said. "No ships in, no ships out, no trade, no contact." Another voice snapped. "You were sent to conquer the humans, not fear them." "I do not fear them," Vrolak said. "I respect them, and I will not risk the Empire's future by angering a species we do not understand." He paused, then added, "They are not like us. They are not like anyone. They are something else." The council was quiet for a long time. Then, "We will consider." The call ended. Grohl looked at his commander. "They'll see it as weakness." "Don't care." "Then why keep watching their data?" Vrolak stared at Earth again. "I want to understand why they're like this. What made them this way?" More time passed. Vrolak discovered something strange. Earth's greatest threat wasn't its weapons or even its people. It was the planet itself. Its environment was brutal. Storms stronger than bombs. Cold that could freeze steel. Heat that could melt skin. Animals that could kill silently. Diseases that destroyed from within. Volcanoes. Earthquakes. Floods. This was not a kind world. It was a world built for war. Even the humans' own bodies had adapted to pain. "No wonder they're so aggressive," Grohl whispered, watching a video of a human running into fire to save strangers. "They were born in chaos, raised by fear, and still, they smile." Vrolak nodded. "They don't just survive. They grow stronger because of the pain." He found a video from a human called Soldier with No Legs. The man smiled as he ran on metal limbs. Another video. A child with burned skin learning to walk again, laughing. Another. A woman losing her family in war, then becoming a leader to stop more wars. "They change their pain into strength," Vrolak whispered. He turned to Grohl. "We invaded thinking they were soft." "They are not soft," Grohl said. They are forged. Later, a report came in from deep surveillance probes, a hidden human base, buried inside a mountain. It was training children, human children, not to be soldiers, but to survive every kind of disaster, war, fire, floods, even alien invasions. They prepare from birth, Grohl said. No, Vrolak corrected. They prepare the next generation from birth. Why? Because they remember. He pulled up one last file. It was simple. Just a single sentence from an old Earth leader. We don't start fights, but we end them. Vrolak closed the screen and finally understood. Earth was not just a planet. It was a weapon, a factory of survivors, and its people were its sharpest blades. He stood, looked out the window one more time. His voice was quiet. They are not conquerors. They don't care about ruling the stars. Then what do they want? Grohl asked. Vrolak answered. They want to be left alone. But if you force them to fight... He paused. They will become the last thing you ever see. The message spread. Fast, across star systems, through wormholes, into ancient alien networks. Earth had survived a full invasion. No shots fired by humans, and yet the invading fleet fled. Other alien empires began to ask questions. Who are these creatures? How? Did they stop a battle-hardened army with no real weapons? And why does Earth scare even the warlords of the stars? In a deep, hidden part of the galaxy, an old species watched in silence. The Valari. They had seen 10,000 civilizations rise and fall. They called themselves the Observers. They did not interfere. They only recorded. Until now. High Observer Triac spoke to the council. Earth was marked as a low-tech species, he said. But now we see that was wrong. They are not weak, another council member added. No, Triac said. They are something new, something rare. Across the stars, another empire, the Graltok, received the warning from the retreating fleet. Their scientists played back the human signal. Thousands of human voices, images, pain, love, rage. A Graltok general slammed his claw on the table. Turn it off, it's too much. Their communication AI replied. Warning, exposure to human emotional data may cause system instability. On the cold mining planet of Drex 9, a merchant listened to Earth's broadcast. He laughed. Just humans. Dirt monkeys. Let them scream. But when his daughter watched the videos, she cried. Why are they always hurting? She asked. The merchant had no answer. Meanwhile, back on the command ship Ravager, Vrolak sat in the strategy room. A new hologram hovered in front of him. Dozens of known apex predator species from across the galaxy. But Earth's humans didn't fit the pattern. Too emotional, too disorganized, too primitive, and yet too strong. Other species evolved to dominate their planet, Grohl said, reviewing the data. Humans? Vrolak replied. They evolved to survive each other. He stared at the files again. One thing kept bothering him. Earth had no unifying empire, no global leader, no single army. They fought each other more than outsiders. And still, they remained the most dangerous species he'd ever encountered. Grohl frowned. Maybe we misunderstood the meaning of apex. No, Vrolak whispered. They are predators. But they're not the top of a natural chain. They are the end of it. In the great archives of the Kotari scholars, an old warning was discovered, a scroll, ancient, forgotten. It told of a blue planet, violent, mad, full of creatures with fire in their hearts. The scroll called it the world that should have died, but refused. Back on Earth, General Ava Thorne met with human leaders. We didn't ask for this attention, one said. No, Ava agreed, but it's coming anyway. She pointed at a screen. Alien fleets, dozens of them, watching Earth now. Some curious, some nervous, some hungry. Ava's eyes narrowed. They're testing us. Again. Soon, another will try. The room fell silent. until one soldier smiled. "Good," he said. "Let them come." In the shadows of space, an unknown species sent a probe toward Earth. It carried no weapons, only one question, written in hundreds of alien languages. "What are you?" Earth never responded with words. Instead, they launched a signal, a repeating image, a human standing alone, facing a massive army. Behind the human, a burning city. In their hand, not a gun, but a torch. The meaning was clear. We may burn, but we do not kneel. The unknown species canceled its mission. "We don't want to understand them anymore," the scientist said. "We just want to leave them alone." Elsewhere, on a research vessel studying dangerous planets, a lead scientist made a bold statement. "Humans are not the top of evolution. They are what happens when evolution breaks its own rules." Commander Vrolak agreed. He recorded one final message before leaving the Sol system for good. "To all species, do not judge humans by their weapons or by their cities. Judge them by what they survive. Because if they ever stop surviving, they will start destroying." On the Ravager, the crew watched Earth shrink into the stars. Some felt relief, some felt fear, but none felt hate. They had seen the truth. Humans are not the apex, they are the exception. Space was big, but news moved. Faster than light, across 1,000 worlds, one name was being spoken in whispers, not shouted, not celebrated, but whispered, like a warning. Earth. In a bar on a trade station near the Zern Nebula, 2 alien smugglers sat in silence. A third walked in and asked, "Why so quiet?" One smuggler said, "You haven't heard?" "Heard what?" The second smuggler leaned in and whispered, "The humans did nothing and an entire war fleet ran." In the courts of the Ixari queens, who ruled with claws and poison, a general knelt before the throne. "We should strike Earth now," the general said, "before they grow stronger." But the queen did not move. She stared into the flames of her chamber and said, "Fool, you don't strike a storm. You survive it." On the jungle moon of Orath, a group of young warriors sat around a fire. They trained for war. They respected strength. One of them asked the elder, "Who is the strongest race in the galaxy?" The elder replied without looking up, "The ones who bleed but never fall." Another asked, "The humans." The elder nodded. "Pray you never meet them in battle." In hidden corners of space, some species made plans. They studied Earth from afar. They created simulations. They tested different scenarios. How long would Earth survive if the full galactic armada attacked? The simulations all ended the same way. Everyone lost, even Earth, but it would take many with it. On Earth, General Ava Thorne stood before a massive screen in a dark war room. It showed data, ships near Pluto, stealth probes near Mars, cloaked satellites in lunar orbit. "Everyone's watching us now," she said. A scientist nodded, like hunters watching a sleeping beast. Earth's leaders gathered, military, scientists, strategists, historians. They discussed what to do. Hide, fight, warn the galaxy. One old man spoke up, a war veteran. "Let them whisper, let them wonder." He tapped the table. "Fear is a weapon. Let's use it." Back on the Ravager, Commander Vrolak received a final report. His analyst said, "Most species now avoid Earth." "Good," Vrolak replied. "But some are still curious. They send stealth drones." "They'll regret it," he said, coldly. Then something strange happened. On 17 worlds in 17 languages, a strange signal was picked up. No pattern, no message. Just a heartbeat. A slow human heartbeat. Boom, 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 over and over. People thought it was a threat, or maybe a warning, but no one could trace the source. It was as if the galaxy itself had started whispering in Earth's voice. A famous alien historian gave a speech on his homeworld. He said, "Earth is not feared because of its armies. It is feared because it reminds us of ourselves, of the monsters we used to be." On Earth, children continued going to school. Farmers farmed, cities glowed. Life moved on, but high in orbit, new human defense satellites were being built. Faster, smarter, hidden, and deep underground the humans built bunkers. Not to hide, but to outlast. They knew another test would come, and they would be ready. In one part of the galaxy, a greedy empire made a plan: attack Earth with a virus. Quiet, clean. Their scientists created the perfect biological weapon. They launched it toward Earth in a tiny stealth pod, but before it reached the atmosphere, it vanished, shot down by something no one saw. Not a missile, not a drone, something else. A few days later, the virus creators found a package outside their capital station. Inside, a sample of their own virus and a human message. Try that again, and we return it to you as a plague. That was the moment when fear turned into respect. The galaxy no longer saw Earth as just dangerous. It saw Earth as aware. Watching, listening, always ready. In a popular galactic bar on the station world Draxus, a young alien asked the bartender, "Is Earth real?" The bartender laughed. "Yes." "Are they monsters?" "No," the bartender said. "They're just like us." He leaned closer, except they never gave up. Another traveler asked, "Have you ever met a human?" The bartender shook his head. "Me neither," the traveler said. "But I dream about them sometimes. I don't know why." The bartender's smile faded. "You're not the only one." And so Earth became legend. Not because of weapons, not because of power, but because it refused to die. And legends once born do not fade easily. They echo, they grow, they become something more. Across the stars, in quiet rooms and war councils, the whispers continued. Do not touch Earth. Do not wake the humans. Let the storm sleep. But everyone knew. One day, someone would be foolish enough to try again. And when they did, the whispers would become screams. Across the stars they whispered Earth's name. They remembered the warning signs, the silent retreat, the failed probes, the virus sent back as a threat, and the heartbeat, echoing across galaxies. But over time, the galaxy grew quiet, too quiet, and silence does something dangerous. It makes the foolish think they are safe. The new empire was young, fast, proud, hungry. They called themselves the Zarketh Dominion. To them, Earth was just another myth. A ghost. Story told to scare explorers. They did not believe in ghosts, and they had never lost a war. In a war hall of glowing steel, the Zarketh Emperor slammed his fist. These humans? Nothing but old bones in a blue grave. His generals laughed. Let us test them, one said. They fear us, said another. No, the Emperor growled. They were feared, long ago, before we ruled this galaxy. And so, on the darkest edge of the Sol system, the Zarketh fleet arrived. Thousands of ships cloaked, armed, silent. They called it Operation Endlight. The plan was simple. Strike Earth hard, fast, erase it before it could scream. But Earth was not sleeping. General Ava Thorne stood in the sky bunker, now buried far under Antarctica. A silent alarm blinked. Ships, big ones, hundreds, maybe thousands. She looked at her team. No panic, just focus. Activate mirror grid, she said calmly. A tech officer pressed the button. Far above Earth, nothing happened. At least that's what it looked like. But in reality, the Zarketh fleet saw their own radar screens go blank, their communications jammed, their AI scrambled, their commanders confused. Where is Earth? One shouted. Where is anything? Another screamed. Their ships were flying blind, because Earth's greatest weapon was not missiles. It was preparation. In space, one Zarketh ship drifted too close to Mars. A hidden defense satellite came alive. It didn't fire a laser. It sent a sound, a low human voice. One word. Why? That one word shattered the pilot's mind. Emotion, regret, pain. Memories not his own flooded his brain. He screamed until his ship drifted off course. Back on Earth, Ava gave the order. Phase 2. In the asteroid belt, Earth's secret, fleet awoke. Ships built in silence. Weapons never shown. Engines designed not for war, but for finishing wars. They moved fast, too fast. Within minutes, the first 200 Zarketh warships disappeared from sensors. No explosions, just silence. Panic spread through the Zarketh fleet. Fall back, fall back. But Earth had learned, not from winning wars, but from surviving them. The Zarketh had forgotten to be afraid, and Earth never forgets. One by one, the enemy ships vanished. Some were hacked and crashed into each other. Some were swallowed by black holes created on purpose. Some simply melted. On the Ravager, now orbiting a safe system, old Commander Vrolak watched the battle feed in horror. "They came after all," he whispered. Grohl stood beside him. "The Zarketh, fools." Vrolak shook his head. "No, it was us. The galaxy. We let time erase the truth." He looked at the burning sky on the screen. "Now Earth reminds us." In the final hour, the Zarketh Emperor himself tried to send a message. He stood on his throne ship staring at a silent Earth below. "I was wrong," he said. "You are not ghosts." He looked into the camera. "You are what comes after death." Then, the feed went dark. His ship was gone. No trace. The galaxy held its breath. For the first time in 1,000 years, no one moved near the Sol system. No ships, no signals, no spies. Just silence. On Earth, General Ava Thorne finally smiled. She turned. Off the last war screen. "Let the galaxy whisper again," she said, "but this time, let them remember." And far across space in distant worlds, the whispers began once more. But now they were not whispers of fear. They were whispers of respect. Earth is not just dangerous. It is patient. It is watching. And it always fights back. The series ends, but the legend, it's just getting started.